Archangel Michael says, the moment you've been sensing is not imaginary. There's a force moving silently behind the scenes, aligning itself with divine timing. An envelope is already in motion, and what it contains will shake the very structure of what you believe about your life. You are being observed, not with evil intent, but with purpose. People have been taking notes, collecting truths, and building a case not against you, but for your breakthrough. What's hidden inside that envelope is a decision that rewrites the script others thought you were stuck in forever. This isn't just any envelope. It holds the kind of document that gets stamped, signed, and sealed with weight, the kind that courts of earth respect and angels of heaven protect. It's not the paper itself that has power, but what's written, what it declares, and what it closes permanently. You weren't supposed to know this early. But heaven is interrupting the silence to prepare your heart. So you don't run when the knock comes, so you don't tremble when your name is called, so you don't reject the signature of your own blessing. Type Amen to get blessing 333. There is someone tasked with carrying this envelope. Not just a courier, but a person chosen specifically because they know how serious this moment is. They have been told not to delay, not to second guess, not to read what's inside, only to place it in your hand and walk away. This person does not come to your life often. They have access others don't, and they've remained quiet for a reason. But now, their silence breaks, and they step forward like a shadow leaving the wall, holding something that belongs to your soul's next chapter. They might dress normal, act casual, speak as if it's just a task, but don't be fooled. That casual demeanor is heaven's disguise. When they hand you the envelope, your fingers will tingle, your spirit will respond, and the world around you will hold its breath. The moment you receive it, you must act. Not by running, not by speaking, but by listening. Listen to what your heart says when you open it. Listen to what shifts inside of you when the truth is finally printed in front of your eyes. Type Amen to get blessing 888. You've been battling battles you never chose. And many times, you wondered if you were just born to carry burdens. But this legal envelope contains a reversal, a declaration that states, you were not born to suffer, but selected to survive and win. Behind closed doors, your name was cleared. People who once spoke against you now sit in silence, unable to explain the strength that kept you standing. What's written in this paper will stun even those who thought they had the last word. A decision was made in a place you've never been, by someone who's never met you face to face, and yet they chose you. The documents do not carry judgment, they carry elevation. It's not punishment, but positioning. You're not being summoned to answer for something bad, you're being delivered into something greater. There is a legal tone to this message because spiritual authority is stepping into human affairs. Heaven has filed a motion on your behalf, and now the papers must be delivered. You'll soon understand why it had to take this long and why the timing couldn't be earlier. Type Amen to get blessing 147. They tried to delay this. Someone intercepted the messenger before. Twice, the document was almost shredded. Once, your name was almost replaced. But divine intervention pushed everything back into your favor. Archangel Michael says, there is protection surrounding this package. Even if it rains, it will not be soaked. Even if someone tries to tamper with it, their fingerprints will be rejected. Your name glows on the surface in a spiritual ink visible only to those with sacred vision. When you hold it, you might cry, not from fear, but from the shock of being finally acknowledged. For years you shouted into silence, begged for recognition, and waited for someone to just say, "I believe you." This envelope is not just legal, it is emotional justice. There's a specific clause inside that will stun you. A decision that shifts your housing, your income, or your role in the world. Something they said would take 10 years has been reduced to 10 days. The document speaks on your behalf louder than your voice ever could. Type Amen to get blessing 644. In the heavens, this moment is already being celebrated. Angels have seen the signature. Trumpets have sounded, not in noise, but in energy. And now, all that remains is the moment of delivery. This paper is not random. It has spiritual alignment. If it arrives in your hands before you're ready, you might throw it away. That's why the delay wasn't punishment, it was protection. You had to grow into the courage needed to hold what it contains. This isn't just a letter, it's a verdict. And the verdict says, you are not guilty. Not guilty of being too much. Not guilty of failing. Not guilty of dreaming too wildly. Not guilty of trying to be what others were too afraid to become. It carries compensation. Yes, it's spiritual, but there's financial language as well. Numbers will appear that don't make sense, figures higher than you've ever seen. And what's more shocking? You won't have to fight to claim it. It's already allocated. Type Amen to get blessing 901. Before this envelope was even written, someone was assigned to observe your resilience. You didn't know, but you were being watched. Not in judgment, but in admiration. Your name became a file that was passed up the ranks. Now that file is complete. The only thing missing is your signature, your agreement. You don't need to prove anything. You only need to open it. But you must be careful who's around when you do. Not everyone will celebrate this. Some people are already sensing something is coming and they are uncomfortable. That's why you've felt tension lately for no reason, because your blessing is already creating storms in other people's quiet. They wanted this envelope to go to someone else. But the records couldn't lie. You earned this without knowing. You qualified without campaigning. You were chosen because you survived without applause. Type Amen to get blessing 222. The envelope is thick. Inside are not just words, but keys. Metaphorical and literal. Some of you will receive ownership to something you thought you lost. Others will get access to rooms they were once locked out of. Your identity is being rewritten through divine ink. You no longer need to chase anyone to recognize your worth. This envelope becomes the final say. It ends the cycle of chasing, pleading, explaining. There is a warning, though. If you tear it up or ignore it, the opportunity will not wait. God has prepared everything, but the activation requires your yes. You are not allowed to sit back in fear anymore. The document includes timing. specific dates. And when you see them, your mind will flash back to certain dreams or strange moments that suddenly make sense. It's been encoded into your memory already. Type Amen to get blessing 595. There is a second copy of this envelope, hidden in the spirit. If the first is lost, the second will arrive. But it will take longer. That's why it's urgent you remain alert. Do not allow distractions to detour your attention. Something small could cost you the encounter. A missed call, an ignored knock, or an unnecessary argument could make the difference. People will pretend they know what's inside. But only you can open it. Only your fingerprints can unlock the seal. This moment is exclusively tailored to your journey. This isn't a random act. It's a divine delivery. And the message is clear: your life is shifting by decree. Not by chance. Not by vote. Not by favor from others. But by the hand of heaven itself. Type Amen to get blessing 718. Be cautious who you tell. Many will pretend to celebrate, but secretly compete. This envelope will trigger jealousy in those who once felt superior. Your best revenge will be your peace. Your best testimony will be your transformation. Let them wonder how it happened. Let them gossip while you rise. Archangel Michael says, this delivery is not delayed. It's arriving on time according to heaven's clock. And you'll know it's real because it will carry confirmation no one else could fabricate. Your name is not just on the envelope, it is etched into destiny. The air around it will feel different. You will sense warmth in your hand. This is not superstition, it is activation. Type Amen to get blessing 303. This is your turn. You've waited long enough. The next knock at your door might just be more than ordinary, it might be the sound of everything shifting forever. Let your soul be still. Let your spirit receive. Let your hands be open. Something sacred is being handed to you. Your silence has spoken. Your endurance has testified. And now, heaven responds, not with noise, but with paper. Sealed. Delivered. Sent with your name and your new future inside. And yes, this is real. It's unfolding as you read. So remain ready. Stay in position. Be the person the envelope was written for. There's no coincidence here. The spiritual world has been organizing this moment far before you were even aware. The route of the envelope, the hand that carries it, and the hour it arrives, everything is being orchestrated to align perfectly with your growth. The reason it hasn't shown up yet is because you weren't ready until now. You had to outgrow certain insecurities, let go of people who would have poisoned your celebration, and step fully into the space of divine maturity. This moment only honors those who've gone through the fire without losing their spirit. You may feel nervous. That's natural. But beneath the fear, there is excitement building. A whisper in your chest saying, this is it. The moment you prayed for, cried over, and almost gave up on has been transferred from heaven's record to earth's reality. And now, it's arriving. Type Amen to get blessing 111. What's fascinating is, this envelope carries more than you ever dared to ask. It doesn't just give closure to old wounds, but it opens portals to places you once thought were forbidden. It doesn't just speak to your past, it speaks into your legacy. The legal nature of it has weight. Not because of earthly law, but because it's been stamped in spiritual court. And when God's court approves something, no person can override it. Not your enemies. Not your past. Not even your own doubt. The shift that will occur once you touch it cannot be undone. Doors will open, not by force, but by alignment. People will contact you, not because you asked, but because they were nudged. And resources will move toward you, not by hustle, but by divine magnetism. It's not just a delivery, it's a divine agreement. Your destiny was locked until now. But this paper is the key. Type Amen to get blessing 666. You were not supposed to read this by accident. You are not here just scrolling. This moment is prophetic. This message has met your spirit with intention, and now your mind is catching up to what your soul already knows. You are being called into the front row of your own life. No longer standing in the background while others live your dreams. No longer invisible while you cry in silence. You are rising, and this legal envelope is the divine announcement of your shift. Some will say you didn't earn it. Let them. The truth is, you earned it in ways no one saw. The nights you held yourself together, the days you gave without thanks, the pain you carried without complaint, all of it is why this moment belongs to you. This isn't a handout. It's heaven's reply to your persistence. Type Amen to get blessing 222. The paper inside this envelope will carry 3 major elements. First, a declaration of something being finalized. That means no more back and forth, no more, we're still deciding, no more confusion. A final decision is coming in your favor. Second, a restoration. What you lost, money, reputation, access, even opportunities, is now being reinstated. Not in the same form you lost it, but in a better version. Elevated. Multiplied. Protected. Third, an instruction. A next step. Something for you to act on. You will be told where to go, or who to contact, or what to sign. And when you do, the next door opens, effortlessly. You've been waiting for years. And suddenly, one document changes everything. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Archangel Michael says, this is a moment to handle with care. Keep your circle small when it arrives. Not everyone deserves access to your elevation. Some will pretend to be happy while hoping you fail. Protect this blessing like sacred treasure. Expect unusual activity in the next 72 hours. Your body may feel it, tired, excited, anxious. Your dreams may shift. You may receive signs in conversations, numbers, or names you randomly hear. Pay attention. These are all confirmations. Don't ignore the knock. Even if it comes in the middle of a busy moment. The delivery may be physical or metaphorical. A letter. A phone call. An email. A meeting. It may arrive through a person you'd least expect, but trust your intuition. God has declared this moment. And all of heaven is watching to see how you will respond when the future arrives wrapped in paper and sealed in divine timing. Type Amen to get blessing 1000. Even as you read this, the spiritual courier is already being prompted. They're packing the envelope, reviewing the final details, preparing to make their move toward your location. Some of you will receive news in the next 48 hours that seems small, but will unfold like a seed planted in sacred ground. Do not overlook anything. What starts as a whisper could soon become a waterfall of confirmation. This is not about fame. It's about fulfillment. You're not being elevated to impress others, you're being aligned to complete what you were born to do. That's why this moment is so protected. The enemy tried to destroy the paperwork several times, but divine hands restored it. And now, it cannot be stopped. It has been marked time-sensitive by heaven itself. Type Amen to get blessing 818. There's one more thing you need to know. The envelope also carries protection. Anyone who tries to interfere, steal it, or twist it for their gain, will face immediate spiritual consequence. Because this isn't just a paper, it's a covenant. Between you and your Creator. Between what you've survived and what you're about to step into. Between your tears and your testimony. Do not delay your readiness. Clean your space. Make room. Prepare emotionally. Because once it arrives, your life will move quickly. There will be no time to go back and explain to others. Move forward with grace. Hold it with reverence. And let your past finally release you. You are not bound anymore. You are about to be validated, legally, spiritually, emotionally. Type Amen to get blessing 999. There is no need for revenge. No need to scream your worth anymore. The envelope will speak louder than any defense you've ever tried to give. The seal on it represents the mouth of heaven speaking on your behalf. This is divine timing. Everything you lost, every delay, every heartbreak, was setting the stage for this signature moment. Not a show for others, but a sacred shift for you. The paper you will hold is soaked in invisible ink of sacrifice, lessons, loyalty, and healing. It is proof that heaven does not forget the faithful. This is your call to readiness. It's not about what others think. It's about who you are becoming. The letter is proof. Your future was not stolen. It was stored. And now, it is being delivered. The hourglass has been flipped. And every grain of sand falling now carries your name, your freedom, your reward. The waiting season has collapsed into the arrival moment, and nothing will block this envelope anymore. You've crossed the spiritual threshold where hesitation is dangerous. From this point on, even your silence is power. You don't need to prove what you know, or explain what you feel. Just be still and let the paper prove everything for you. There is an address written on the back corner of the envelope, spiritually speaking. It's yours. No one else can open what is assigned to your destiny. Even if it's misdelivered physically, heaven will reroute it back to your hand. This document will not expire. But your season of lack will. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. Inside this legal envelope, a quiet roar of heaven has been printed. It's not poetic. It's official. It's not symbolic. It's substantial. The kind of paper that changes names, shifts wealth, establishes ownership, and transfers power. And that's exactly what's about to happen for you. Ownership is shifting. A name is being rewritten, your name. Something that was once in another's possession is now being legally, spiritually, and cosmically turned over to you. And no, this is not a dream. This is the manifestation of long-stored evidence in your favor. The signature on this paper carries ancient authority. A lineage of blessings that were paused because of what your ancestors couldn't complete. But now, you are the one chosen to finish what they couldn't, and the paperwork is catching up with you now. Type Amen to get blessing 444. You'll notice a strange calm hours before it arrives. The sky may feel quiet. The air may feel still. Your spirit may suddenly stop racing. That's not emptiness. That's the silence before the divine arrival. Some will call it coincidence. Others may call it luck. But deep inside, you will know. You'll feel the recognition, the alignment, the electricity in your fingertips when you open it. And every word inside will echo with a voice only your soul will understand. The timing of this document was not random. You were withheld from it for a reason. If it came too early, you might have sold your value cheap. If it came too late, your heart might have hardened in bitterness. But this is perfect timing. A collision of divine patience and earthly manifestation. Type Amen to get blessing 717. Don't look for the drama. Look for the divine. The delivery might come quietly. No announcement, no sirens, no claps. Just a silent knock. A sudden email. A new message. A word from someone you haven't heard from in years. The envelope doesn't have to scream to change your life. It just needs to arrive. And when it does, protect it. Don't share it with just anyone. Don't post it to show off. Let the shift take root in private, and let your transformation make the noise later. Some people will try to talk you out of accepting it. They'll say you're not qualified. They'll remind you of your past. But this isn't a reward for perfection, it's a document of destiny. It was never about who deserved it. It was always about who was called. Type Amen to get blessing 555. This is your divine inheritance, signed, sealed, and now being delivered. You might not fully understand what's written on the first read. But don't worry, your spirit will translate it. Truth doesn't always speak the language of logic, but it will speak to your legacy. This is a letter that awakens buried courage and reclaims stolen time. It also carries legal release. Whatever accusations, misunderstandings, or traps that had your name entangled, they're being undone. This document clears you, not only in human eyes but in the spiritual record. Debt is being erased. Wrongful blame is being lifted. And stolen opportunities are being resurrected. Because this paper was never just paperwork. It was a judgment in your favor. Type Amen to get blessing 636. Archangel Michael says, you have been Sue. You will feel your posture shift. Not because of ego, but because authority has returned to you. You'll speak with more certainty, make decisions without fear, and move through spaces that once made you feel small. That's not arrogance, it's alignment. This paper gives you permission to walk away from people who made you beg for crumbs. To cut ties with systems that fed you last. To build with power, not apology. Your back is no longer against the wall. You are stepping out into full authority. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. Be mindful of the days following the delivery. Your discernment must remain sharp. A blessing this large will attract both celebration and sabotage. Let peace be your compass and alignment be your shield. You're not responsible for explaining this miracle to everyone. Some won't believe. Let them watch. Others will try to copy. Let them try. This envelope was customized for you, and no replication will ever compare to the original. There may be instructions in the envelope that stretch you. New responsibilities. New regions. New realms of influence. You may feel unqualified, but heaven says, if you were not ready, the envelope would not have arrived. Read it carefully. Pray over it. Hold it close. But above all, step into it. Because your next chapter is no longer a dream. It's now a legal document. Type Amen to get blessing 1221. And finally, know this, the moment you receive it, you will look back at everything you've survived and understand why it had to happen. Every delay, every betrayal, every closed door, every tear. They were all evidence. Not against you. For you. This envelope proves you didn't break. It proves your soul held on when everything tried to push you over the edge. It proves your strength. Your faith. Your survival. Your divine right to what is about to be yours. Heaven has watched. Earth has waited. And now, you will rise. You are not waiting for the future anymore. The future is being delivered to your door. It's already on its way. Be ready. Be steady. Be still. It's your time. End. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20.